listening to China Plus Radio, connecting you with China and the world.
Now the news, I'm Wen Jie. Johns Hopkins University says over 161,000 people have died from the COVID-19 pandemic around the world. The United States registered more than 39,000 deaths from the virus, suffering the most fatalities among nations. Italy reported a death toll of 23,000, and Spain recorded 20,000 to round out the top three. The total number of COVID-19 infections has exceeded 2.3 million across the globe so far. Health officials say Beijing will carry out mandatory nucleic acid tests on 8 groups of people. The groups include COVID-19 patients and those who have close contacts with them, fever clinic patients, and patients in urgent need of hospitalization. Visitors who come from overseas and stay in Beijing's hotels, people who recently returned from Wuhan, and government employees who had trips outside Beijing are also subject to the tests. Local authorities say the above measures will be adjusted in due course according to changes in the pandemic situation. Beijing now has 50 medical institutions providing nucleic acid tests. Officials say no new confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus disease were reported in central China's Hubei province on Saturday. On Saturday, the province reported no new deaths from COVID-19, and the death toll of the province stayed at 4,512. Provincial health officials say Hubei had 576 asymptomatic cases under medical observation by Saturday. On the same day, 13 COVID-19 patients were discharged from hospital in the provincial capital of Wuhan. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has said that supporting the World Health Organization and its Director General is to safeguard the philosophy and principle of multilateralism at the critical moment when the world is combating the COVID-19 pandemic. He made the remarks during a phone conversation with WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. Wang Yi notes that the support is also an act to secure the United Nations status and role and maintain the international solidarity in the face of the disease. Official data showed China's natural gas output posted fast growth in March. The output jumped over 11% year-on-year to nearly 17 billion cubic meters last month. Average daily production hit 540 million cubic meters. During the first quarter, the country's natural gas production rose more than 9% year-on-year to 48 billion cubic meters. U.S. President Donald Trump has said that Texas and Vermont will allow certain businesses to reopen on Monday while still observing coronavirus-related precautions, and Montana will begin lifting restrictions on Friday. Some state governors have warned, however, that they will not act prematurely to reopen their economies until there is more testing. The Pentagon has extended its freeze order on the movement of U.S. troops through June 30th due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The new order will come into force on Monday. It includes eased restrictions and more exemptions allowed compared to the previous one. Defense Secretary Mark Esper issued the freeze order last month to stop movements of overseas U.S. forces for up to 60 days to curb the spread of the coronavirus in the military. He will review the policy every 15 days. So far, nearly 3,000 COVID-19 cases have been reported among U.S. services members. Turkey has surpassed Iran in the tally of total infections of COVID-19 and become the hardest hit country of the novel coronavirus in the Middle East. The country reported close to 3,800 new infections on Saturday, bringing the total to over 82,000. The death toll in the country is approaching 1,900 after over 120 new deaths were added. The Iranian army has unveiled 2 homemade radar systems for aerial protection purposes. The 2 radars feature 3-dimensional phased array systems with the operational ranges of 400 to 800 kilometers. They can reportedly detect small targets, conventional or stealth, at low and medium altitudes with high precision and resolution. At least 10 militants are dead and 16 others wounded as part of cleanup operations by Afghan government forces. Officials say a main base of the Taliban has been destroyed in eastern Logar province. That's the news. I'm Wen Jie.
can you experience real life in China without making that trip to the fabulous Middle Kingdom? How do you get to meet people living in China without actually coming face to face with them? Welcome to Chinese Theatre, a program that seeks to immerse you deeply in the sights, sounds and tastes of China, just as if you're touring the country in real life and getting involved in the daily lives of people living here. Join us for Chinese Theatre and be blown away by the joys and sorrow, dreams and passion, love and devotion, aspiration and struggles of the people you'll meet. Chinese Theatre, a journey of a lifetime and an inspiration for the soul.
Hello and welcome to Chinese Theatre. In today's edition, we'll continue with the Chinese television series entitled The Youth of Endeavor. The drama series tells the story of a handsome, talented, and passionate young man named Lu Tao, who has always aspired to be successful in Korea after graduating from the Architectural Institute. Like several of his close buddies, Lu Tao has experienced the ups and downs interaction through his career development. The nuances of life, the bitterness and sweetness of love, all contribute to their unforgettable youth of endeavor. Now stay tuned.
Hey, yeah! What's wrong with you?
Sorry. I didn't see you.
And I'm not camouflaged.
I saw you.
And you drenched me?
I won't do it again.
Look out from now on, okay?
Okay.
You can't go walking around with your eyes closed. I can't believe this. You're so inconsiderate.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I say she had it coming.
Keep it down. Hey, how's it going? What happened to your mom?
Well, our house is the center for the holdouts. People are usually there all day, angry, excited, saying how they just want to take the developers on. Just now, almost nobody was there. It felt wrong, like nobody wanted to fight.
What's wrong?
The demolition's getting nasty.
I thought your mom wanted to move out.
She found a lawyer and wants to sue them.
So she's really gonna fight him?
She was already fighting them. They're going to cut the water and power, but she and the rest of them want to stay.
I remember you said nobody was gonna move out.
Well, I think they're pretty sick of it. They're probably going to cave. Staying is just one thing, but they move in the end.
Well, we should probably get a sofa bed. And now she'll be moving in with us. The bulldozers won't wait for her to get out.
Hey, my mom wanted to ask if your dad can help her.
I told you I already asked him. My dad said it's not his apartment, you can't help. And besides, this comes from the legislator. The government doesn't change its mind about these kind of things.
Okay, stop washing. Go upstairs and get that quilt. My mom always tells me to bring it.
All right.
Sharyun, am I late? No, the car's washed. We have to go to my mom's first, though. I need to bring her something.
No problem. I'm not busy anyway. Is your mom really holding up Blue House development?
Of course.
I'll buy her something to eat before we go.
Just looking at this car pisses me off, and he washes it? Shaolin, you know who I married? Someone who washes his auto every day. If he has the energy, why doesn't he wash himself? Aww.
Her name is He Cuifeng, a housing speculator. She knows the laws. She hired a lawyer. And we convinced him. Even then, she didn't give in. We tried all the carrots and sticks we know. I've never seen anything like it. And now, she doesn't even leave. She hired a maid to stay with her. And the maid does all the shopping. Whenever we try to talk with her, she has one answer. Bring the boss here.
All right, let's go see her.
This is the one.
Mr. Ding, I know her. You wait for me outside. I'll handle this.
Ah, thank you. You know her. Great. I'll be downstairs.
Hello? Who is it?
I'm Lu Tao.
Is Mrs. Ho in?
Is that it all?
Open the door.
Let him in.
Thanks. Hello.
Hey, come in. Sit down. Have some tea. Look at that. It's Shaoyun. When she was here, she forgot her quilt last time.
Ma. Hey, Lu Tao. Shaolin's here,
Shaoyun,
too.
hey.
Hi, I brought this for you. I figure you needed all the help you can get.
Okay.
Hey,
Have some tea.
I got it.
Ty, what's up? I'm good.
So you two are getting married?
Sally knows the last say on that.
You have to solve Mrs. Hug's housing situation first, or else I won't say yes.
Where's your husband?
My husband moved to the dorm at school. His health hasn't been great, and he hasn't been helping.
Okay. Have you had any problems living here?
A week ago, they cut the power. I called the mayor's hotline, and it was back on the third day.
Okay. Well, I heard you're the only one left here.
Says who? Mr. Leo is still here, too. I call him every day. His family's been living in that courtyard house for 60 years. Aren't courtyard houses protected buildings?
Look, the thing is, I'm the project manager of Yuanda's Frankfurt Vistas project. The demolition, up to this point, was...
Mr. Ding.
Yeah, he was in charge. Now, for this project, we have a schedule. We're losing a lot of money every day we delay.
Don't beat around the bush. We're all friends here. Say what you need to say.
It's no problem for Yuanda to say yes to all of your conditions. We're just afraid that if we sign with you and the other owners hear about it...
Haven't they already signed their contracts with your company?
They have signed, but it's not that simple.
We're all friends. Let me put it this way. I'm used to living here. The suburbs or buying one of your discounted apartments isn't a fair choice. I'm getting old. I'm close to a hospital and a park here. There are so many activities around. All my friends live nearby, and at my old age, what more can I ask for? Do you understand? Do you understand my problem? I know. For your company, exchanging an old 68 square meter apartment for a new 128 square meter apartment is hard to justify. But it's hard for me to ask me to move. I've said that every day for the last 6 months.
Mr. Xu? I'm here. All right, I'll be right down. Mrs. He, Mr. Xu is here. I have to go meet him. I'll tell him about your situation myself.
Lu Tao, I know you're just doing your job, and I don't want to make things tough for you. So, I'll tell you my bottom line. So long as I can live here, I'll say yes to the rest of your conditions. And this is just between you and me.
All right, I got it.
Good. Hey, Charlene, you stay here. I'll make dumplings.
Okay, I'll help you.
Okay.
Mr. Xu. How's the demolition going?
We have two very stubborn final holdouts. It's a nightmare. Lu Tao and I just visited one.
The owner's actually my friend.
Good. So then there's only one left.
I want to give her the second-story corner apartment. Mrs. Xu, you can count on me. I'll handle this.
I trust you. Mr. Ding, lead the way. I want to meet our final holdout.
Okay, this way. Come on. Mr. Zhao, two of our senior executives are here. Today, they've come especially to talk to you.
I don't care who they are. I don't want an apartment. I want my courtyard. Mr. Zhao, you have a very nice courtyard here.
Yes, it is.
It's a shame, isn't it? Yes, it would be. How about this? Our previous offer still was standing. You can still keep this courtyard. The only problem is we'd have to move it somewhere else. Then we take it down, brick by brick, number them, then rebuild it, just the way it is now. The other option is we demolish it, then build you a bigger, nicer house in the suburbs. Up to you. Which do you prefer? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
you.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, too.
Where's the hell's Lu Tao? I'm gonna call him. He's taking too long. No, we can wait.
He'll call when he knows something. Think about it. Business like this doesn't get settled in 5 minutes.
Are they done yet? The water is boiling.
Yeah, it's all set.
Oh, I'll get that. Hey, Lu Tao, dumplings are done.
Listen, the house is taken care of.
Really?
But you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
That's fantastic. Done. Here. Come on in.
Ma, everything okay?
Cheyenne, we're staying right here.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Come, Lu Tao, come. Let me see.
Here it is.
Which one?
Here are the plans. This one. We can give you this one. 128 square meters in the corner. It's not the best layout.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Brilliant. I never thought I'd get to live in a house like this. It's worth at least $1 million. It's like living a dream. Xiaoyun. Look, Grandma can have this room. It's quiet and gets sunshine. This room will be yours here.
Cool.
Lu Tao, how can I thank you for this?
It's nothing. Forget it. Here, this is where you sign. I'll go make the
All
dumpling.
right, I will. Hey, let me go get a pen.
Did you wash your hands? Hey, Xiaoyun, when are we going to celebrate?
Yeah, aren't you guys getting engaged?
I was so busy, I forgot to buy the ring.
Hey, we'll go with you after lunch. I want to watch you put it on her finger. I don't want it. Fine, then I'll take it.
Young Xiaoyun, you belong to me. You put it on, I'll cut your finger off with our marriage license.
Hey, then I'll just wear it on another finger. Go play the dumplings. I'm going to ride in Lu Tao's car when we go out later. I mean it, Shannon. Keep your alto away from me.
Xiaoyun, you see this, right? This is my wife. What a snob.
Hey. Look. Open your little packard and look. This is a real car. Door.
I'm the first to say good luck with your marriage.
They don't need you to say good luck to them. They're rich.
Young Xiaoyun, don't be jealous of your friend.
You wouldn't be such a loser if you get jealous. Miss, show us your most expensive diamond rings. Small. Small.
Big.
Come on, forgive Lu Tao. I think that was a good one. Put it on.
Da-da-da.
Listen to me, Shailene. From now on, you're mine. If you ever want to die, try talking to another guy.
Huh?
Listen up, Lu Tao. You're my wallet from now on. If you ever want to die, try spending it on another woman.
I wouldn't.
You know what, Shannon? Love that lasts is always built on a big pile of money.
I get it, Xiaoyun. You think love dies because of money problems.
Hey, don't leave yet. We need your advice on the wedding. Don't ask. Our marriage was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, your mom dreams about you marrying Lu Tao. But he's already engaged. So you get it? Wake up from that dream. Your mom's little dream calculator doesn't add up right, does it?
You shut up.
Xiaoyun, you just slapped me?
Of course I did. You know what you just said?
Are you crazy?
What I thought.
You think I got it? What are you
know
doing?
What you said?
Slap me.
You know
Are you really
what
fighting?
said?
I can't believe you hit me. You're crazy.
That's real.
What do I do?
You tell me.
Stop it.
I can't believe I... Are you crazy? What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Hey, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Hey, please.
Yeah, so what? You're a psycho bitch, are you? Dude, it's nuts in here. Everybody's just watching us big fight. No, sir, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind. Swear to God, Shannon, you're out of your mind.
Why are you so jealous of their marriage? Oh, why?
Bullshit. Why does it make you so happy?
Divorce makes me happy.
Stop it. Stop it. You didn't say that.
Let me go. We're totally divorced.
Hey, we need to talk over here. There's one couple holding another couple. Talking about marriage and divorce?
Fine. Just tell me right now. Are you coming to our wedding first? Or are we coming to your divorce first?
What are y'all looking at? Everyone get out of here. There's nothing here to see.
What are you even saying? You're embarrassing me.
Don't tell you. All you are is a thief.
You're bloody crazy. Why are you embarrassing yourself?
I don't care about that. I don't give one damn about it.
Don't change the topic. You want divorce? Good.
Let go of me. I'll tell you. All you are is a thief. You're the world's most biggest thief. You're the world's most worst thief. You're the most engagement thief. I hate you.
Shannon? Tell me now, in front of everyone
forgive me?
It's my fault. I was too harsh.
However harsh you are, I'll listen.
Why are you so nice to me?
Because I'm crazy about you.
I'm crazy about you, too.
Let's live our lives. It's not a race with them. Let's just try to be happy.
You need to shave. You forgot to do it today.
Please don't divorce me.
Why would I divorce you? You're so nice to me.
I won't either. Did you know, since the day that I've married you, I thought that my life is complete.
Let's not shout in front of other people. They'll laugh at us. It's embarrassing.
Why are you laughing?
I had no idea you were such a good actor. The way you cried at the mall, said I stole your heart. You're such a con man. From what I see, your heart is cold as ice. Why would I steal that? Eddie, what are you doing? Put me down. You can drop me.
You just said I'm cold-hearted. Why? You said you're warm-hearted. So now I'm thinking you could share some of your warm-heartedness with me, baby.
Hey! Ow, your arm's on my hair.
How's this?
Better.
Well, move your elbow.
Oh, roll over a little bit.
Why don't you?
Slow down.
Just let your mom sit down and do this.
Sit down. It's your birthday, so no housework for you.
Fine. I'll leave it to you and enjoy my day.
I'm gonna go check on the kitchen. Dad! Well, does they at least look like noodles?
I used to be a professional chef. The reason our restaurants did well is because I'm a god in the kitchen.
Why, I always thought you looked like a line cook.
What are you talking about?
I'll get the door. Relax. Hey, come on in. Where's your dad? It's my mom's birthday, so he's in the kitchen cooking. Dad! Dad, guess who's here? Mr. Me.
Oh, Mrs. Tong, how's it going?
Wei Shin's reputation isn't as good as they've claimed. They botched the marketing on 2 housing projects and caused major losses. They're also having very serious internal conflicts. The vice president might leave.
Is there any way that we can change our marketer?
We've already signed the contract, and we've already wired the money. Good. Don't worry. Mr. Me, we're not out of options.
This is my fault. How could I let this happen? How did I get sucked in by Wei Shin's big talk? I think everything would work out. I was careless this time. Eli, you remember this one thing. Whenever you hear that something is just too good to be true, don't ever believe it.
So, what should we do now?
Push Wei Shin to start moving. At least have them build the sales office. That's our money, after all. Hello?
Dad, what's wrong? Mr. Me. Dad! Are you okay? Mom! Okay. Come here!
Gallstone. Look, it's here. That's the gallstone.
Doctor, how big is it?
It's about that big.
That's not big at all. Is that big serious?
That big, very serious.
No wonder. That's when my dad collapsed. That scared me.
Don't worry. We're using painkillers right now. Gallstones are painful. They say for people who've had gallstones, childbirth is nothing.
Does childbirth hurt that much? I won't have children then.
It's not that bad. It depends on the person.
Doctor, and my dad...
Don't worry. We'll remove the gallbladder with a simple operation.
What? So my dad won't have a gallbladder anymore? I hate events like this. Look, do you have a girlfriend now?
Yeah?
Still the same one? Is she prettier than me?
You'll meet her soon.
I'm bored. Let's go outside. Good evening, sir. What would you like to drink?
What should we get?
2 bottles of beer.
2 beers. We're upstairs in room B230.
Put her on the bill.
Sure, just a minute. Friends with you later.
You Shenny publicists really are something. That was impressive. You're a very talented singer. And you sang it with such depth. It was almost like the real thing. You left me speechless, and that is not an easy thing to do.
Mr. Shen, I sang the song. Can we sign the papers now?
I'll tell you what, humor me. You finish that drink there, and you can have your print ads. No question. Sound good?
Mr. Chen, I want the brand ads too.
Well,
Sir, excuse me. Is she okay? She's gonna barf. I'm not happy. No. I'm angry. No. I'm not happy. I'm angry. Looking for this?
Thanks.
Is that your girlfriend?
I'll be right back.
see that?
She really got a temper.
Charlie, what's the matter? What's wrong? What's wrong?
I'm not happy. I'm angry.
Look, Ling Shan is only a Yunda client.
When did you become a call girl, huh? Meals, drinks, and dances? Is that what men do?
Then take me to see your clients. Are they all women?
You're so busy, Lu Tao. So busy I can only see you in clubs.
Aren't you the same?
I come here because I know them. They're friends. I get discounts. Trying to think about things from the perspective of a small saleswoman, okay?
Okay, I was wrong.
I was wrong.
Try to understand me. You know, whatever I do, whatever goals I have, it's all to make you happy.
I understand you more and more, Lu Tao. You want to use your fantasy to make me happy so that you can be satisfied with yourself.
What is it? What is it that you want?
I want a home.
That's what I'm trying to build.
I don't want that kind of a home. Not some kind of glory you win alone. A home. Me and you. I was jealous. I realized that when I came out. I always thought jealousy was something other people did. I never thought I'd feel it too.
I found this.
With that, we end this edition of Chinese Theater. Thank you for tuning in and see you tomorrow.
Epic tales of mystery and magic. Accounts of battle and empire. From the verses of the ancient poets to the masterpieces of our time. CRI brings to life China's literary heritage. Join us for A Light on Literature.
On today's A Light on Literature, CRI continues its presentation of The Spirit of the Chinese People, written by Gu Hongming, a Malaysian Chinese scholar of the late Qing dynasty. This book was first published in 1915. Gu wrote in the preface that the object of this book was an attempt to interpret the spirit of the real Chinese people and show the value of the Chinese civilization. Gu's opinions were personal and confined to a certain time period in history. Yet it offers an interesting viewpoint and a reference for its readers to consider and to understand the impact of Confucianism on the Chinese people and culture. In our last episode, the author talks about the greatest contribution of Confucius, and that it was Confucius who gave the Chinese people the idea of a state. Today, Manli narrates The Spirit of the Chinese People, Part 4, in which Gu Hongming talks about the state religion and the family religion, and again, why the Chinese people do not feel the need for religion. Enjoy.
A society without a sense of honor cannot be held together, cannot last. For if, as we have seen, even in the relation between men connected with matters of little or no vital importance, such as gambling and trading in human society, the recognition of the sense of honor is so important and necessary. How much more so it must be in the relations between men in human society, which establish the two most essential institutions in that society, the family and the state. Now, as you all know, the rise of civil society in the history of all nations begins always with the institution of marriage. The church religion in Europe makes marriage a sacrament, that is, something sacred and inviolable. The sanction for the sacrament of marriage in Europe is given by the church, and the authority for the sanction is God. But that is only an outward, formal, or so to speak, legal sanction. The true inner, the really binding sanction for the inviolability of marriage, as we see it in countries where there's no church religion, is the sense of honor, the law of the gentleman in man and woman. Confucius says the recognition of the law of the gentleman begins with the recognition of the relation between husband and wife. In other words, the recognition of the sense of honor, the law of the gentleman, in all countries where there is civil society, establishes the institution of marriage. The institution of marriage establishes the family. I said that the state religion which Confucius taught is a code of honor, and I told you that Confucius made this code out of the law of the gentleman. But now I must tell you that long before Confucius' time, there existed already in China an undefined and unwritten code of the law of the gentleman. This undefined and unwritten code of the law of the gentleman in China before Confucius' time was known as Li, the law of propriety, good taste, or good manners. Later on in history, before Confucius' time, a great statesman arose in China, the man known as the great lawgiver of China, generally spoken of as the Duke of Zhou, who first defined, fixed, and made a written code of the law of the gentleman, known then in China as Li, the law of propriety, good taste, or good manners. This first written code of the gentleman in China, made by the Duke of Zhou, became known as Zhou Li, the laws of good manners of the Duke of Zhou. This code of the laws of good manners of the Duke of Zhou may be considered as the pre-Confucian religion in China, or as the Mosaic law of the Jewish nation before Christianity is called the religion of the old dispensation of the Chinese people. It was this religion of the old dispensation, the first written code of the law of the gentleman, called the laws of good manners of the Duke of Zhou, which first gave the sanction for the sacrament and inviolability of marriage in China. The Chinese to this day, therefore, speak of the sacrament of marriage as Chou Kun Chu Li, the law of good manners of the Duke of Zhou. By the institution of the sacrament of marriage, the pre-Confucian or religion of the old dispensation in China established the family. It secured once for all the stability and permanence of the family in China. This pre-Confucian or religion of the old dispensation, known as the laws of good manners of the Duke of Zhou in China, might thus be called a family religion as distinguished from the state religion which Confucius afterwards taught. Now, Confucius, in the state religion which he taught, gave a new dispensation, so to speak, to what I have called the family religion, which existed before his time. In other words, Confucius gave a new, wider, and a more comprehensive application to the law of the gentleman in the state religion which he taught, and as the family religion or religion of the old dispensation in China before his time instituted the sacrament of marriage. Confucius, in giving this new, wider, and more comprehensive application to the law of the gentleman in the state religion which he taught, instituted a new sacrament. This new sacrament which Confucius instituted, instead of calling it Li, the law of good manners, he called it Ming Fen Ta Yi, which I have translated as the great principle of honor and duty, or code of honor. By the institution of this Ming Fen Ta Yi, or code of honor, Confucius gave the Chinese people, instead of a family religion, which they had before, a state religion. Confucius, in the state religion which he now gave, taught that as under the old dispensation of what I have called the family religion before his time, the wife and husband in a family are bound by the sacrament of marriage called Zhou Kun Chu Li, the law of good manners of the Duke of Zhou, to hold their contract of marriage inviolable and to absolutely abide by it. So under the new dispensation of the state religion which he now gave, the people and their sovereign in every state, the Chinese people and their emperor in China, are bound by this new sacrament called Ming Fen Ta Yi, the great principle of honor and duty, or code of honor, established by this state religion, to hold the contract of allegiance between them as something sacred and inviolable, and absolutely to abide by it. In short, this new sacrament called Ming Fen Ta Yi, or code of honor, which Confucius instituted, is a sacrament of the contract of allegiance, as the old sacrament called Zhou Kun Chu Li, the law of good manners of the Duke of Zhou, which was instituted before his time, is a sacrament of marriage. In this way, Confucius, as I said, gave a new, wider, and more comprehensive application to the law of the gentleman, and thus gave a new dispensation to what I have called the family religion in China before his time, and made it a state religion. In other words, this state religion of Confucius makes a sacrament of the contract of allegiance as the family religion in China before his time makes a sacrament of the contract of marriage. As by the sacrament of marriage established by the family religion, the wife is bound to be absolutely loyal to her husband. So by this sacrament of the contract of allegiance, called Ming Fen Ta Yi, or code of honor, established by the state religion taught by Confucius in China, the people of China are bound to be absolutely loyal to the emperor. This sacrament of the contract of allegiance in the state religion taught by Confucius in China might thus be called the sacrament or religion of loyalty. You will remember what I said to you, that Confucius, in a way, taught the divine right of kings. But instead of saying that Confucius taught the divine right of kings, I should properly have said that Confucius taught the divine duty of loyalty. This divine or absolute duty of loyalty to the emperor in China, which Confucius taught, derives its sanction not as the theory of the divine right of kings in Europe, derives its sanction from the authority of a supernatural being called God, or from some abstruse philosophy, but from the law of the gentleman, the sense of honor in man, the same sense of honor which in all countries makes the wife loyal to her husband. In fact, the absolute duty of loyalty of the Chinese people to the emperor, which Confucius taught, derives its sanction from the same simple sense of honor which makes the merchant keep his word and fulfill his contract, and the gambler play the game and pay his gambling debt. Now, as what I have called the family religion, the religion of the old dispensation in China and the church religion in all countries, by the institution of the sacrament and inviolability of marriage, establishes the family. So what I have called the state religion in China, which Confucius taught, by the institution of this new sacrament of the contract of allegiance, establishes the state. If you will consider what a great service the man who first instituted the sacrament and established the inviolability of marriage in the world has done for humanity in the course of civilization, you will then, I think, understand what a great work this is, which Confucius did when he instituted this new sacrament and established the inviolability of the contract of allegiance. The institution of the sacrament of marriage secures the stability and permanence of the family, without which the human race would become extinct. The institution of this sacrament of the contract of allegiance secures the stability and permanence of the state, without which human society and civilization would all be destroyed, and mankind would return to the state of savages or animals. I therefore said to you that the greatest thing which Confucius has done for the Chinese people is that he gave them the true idea of a state, a true, rational, permanent, and absolute basis of a state. And in giving them that, he made it a religion, a state religion. Confucius taught this state religion in a book which, as I told you, he wrote in the very last days of his life, a book to which he gave the name of Spring and Autumn. In this book, Confucius first instituted the new sacrament of the contract of allegiance called Mingfen Ta-yi, or the Code of Honor. This sacrament is therefore often and generally spoken of as Chun Chu Ming Fen Ta-yi, or simply Chun Chu Ta-yi. That is, the great principle of honor and duty of the spring and autumn annals, or simply the great principle or code of the spring and autumn annals. This book, in which Confucius taught the divine duty of loyalty, is the Magna Carta of the Chinese nation. It contains the sacred covenant, the sacred social contract by which Confucius bound the whole Chinese people and nation to be absolutely loyal to the emperor. And this covenant or sacrament, this code of honor, is the one and the only true constitution, not only of the state and government in China, but also of the Chinese civilization. Confucius said, it is by this book that after ages, people would know him, know what he had done for the world.
You are listening to A Light on Literature, CRI's presentation of timeless works of Chinese literature. Today's narration by Man Ling is an abridged version of The Spirit of the Chinese People, written by Gu Hongming, a Malaysian Chinese scholar in the late Qing dynasty.
I'm afraid I have exhausted your patience in taking such a very long way to come to the point of what I want to say. But now we have got to the point where I last left you. You will remember I said that the reason why the mass of mankind will always feel the need of religion, I mean religion in the European sense of the word, is because religion gives them a refuge, one refuge, the belief in an all-powerful being called God, in which they can find a sense of permanence in their existence. But I said that the system of philosophy and morality which Confucius taught, known as Confucianism, can take the place of religion, can make man, even the mass of mankind, do without religion. Therefore, there must be, I said, something in Confucianism which can give to men, to the mass of mankind, the same sense of security and sense of permanence which religion gives. Now I think we have found this something. This something is the divine duty of loyalty to the emperor, taught by Confucius in the state religion, which he has given to the Chinese nation. Now, this absolute divine duty of loyalty to the emperor of every man, woman, and child in the whole Chinese empire is, as you can understand, in the minds of the Chinese population, an absolute, supreme, transcendent, almighty power to the emperor. And this belief in the absolute, supreme, transcendent, almighty power of the emperor, it is which gives to the Chinese people, to the mass of the population in China, the same sense of security which the belief in God, in religion, gives to the mass of mankind in other countries. The belief in the absolute, supreme, transcendent, almighty power of the emperor also secures in the minds of the Chinese population the absolute stability and permanence of the state. This absolute stability and permanence of the state again secures the infinite continuance and lastingness of society. This infinite continuance and lastingness of society finally secures in the minds of the Chinese population the immortality of the race. Thus, it is this belief in the immortality of the race, derived from the belief in the almighty power of the emperor given to him by the divine duty of loyalty, which gives to the Chinese people, the mass of the population in China, the same sense of permanence in their existence, which the belief in a future life of religion gives to the mass of mankind in other countries. Again, as the absolute divine duty of loyalty taught by Confucius secures the immortality of the race in the nation, so the cult of ancestor worship taught in Confucianism secures the immortality of the race in the family. Indeed, the cult of ancestor worship in China is not founded much on the belief in a future life, as in the belief of the immortality of the race. A Chinese, when he dies, is not consoled by the belief that he will live a life hereafter, but by the belief that his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, or those dearest to him will remember him, think of him, love him to the end of time. And in that way, in his imagination, dying to a Chinese is like going on a long, long journey, if not with the hope, at least with a great perhaps of meeting again. Thus, this cult of ancestor worship, together with the divine duty of loyalty in Confucianism, gives to the Chinese people the same sense of permanence in their existence while they live, and the same consolation when they die, which the belief in a future life in religion gives to the mass of mankind in other countries. It is for this reason that the Chinese people attach the same importance to this cult of ancestor worship as they do to the principle of the divine duty of loyalty to the emperor. Mencius said, "Of the three great sins against filial piety, the greatest is to have no posterity." Thus, the whole system of teaching of Confucius, which I have called the state religion in China, consists really only of two things: loyalty to the emperor and filial piety to parents. In Chinese, 忠孝. In fact, the three articles of faith, called in Chinese the San Kan, three cardinal duties in Confucianism, or the state religion of China, are, in their order of importance: first, absolute duty of loyalty to the emperor; second, filial piety and ancestor worship; third, inviolability of marriage and absolute submission of the wife to the husband. The last two of the three articles were already in what I have called the family religion, or religion of the old dispensation in China before Confucius' time. But the first article, absolute duty of loyalty to the emperor, was first taught by Confucius and laid down by him in the state religion, or religion of the new dispensation, which he gave to the Chinese nation. The first article of faith, absolute duty of loyalty to the emperor, in Confucianism takes the place and is the equivalent of the first article of faith in all religions, the belief in God. It is because Confucianism has this equivalent for the belief in God of religion that Confucianism, as I have shown you, can take the place of religion, and the Chinese people, even the mass of the population in China, do not feel the need of religion. But now you will ask me, how, without a belief in God, which religion teaches, how can one make the mass of mankind, follow and obey the moral rule which Confucius teaches, the absolute duty of loyalty to the emperor, as you can, by the authority of God, which the belief in God gives, make men follow and obey moral rules given by religion? Before I answer your question, will you allow me first to point out to you a great mistake which people make in believing that it is the sanction given by the authority of God which makes men obey the rules of moral conduct? I told you that the sanction for the sacrament and inviolability of marriage in Europe is given by the Church, and the authority for the sanction, the Church says, is from God. But I said that was only an outward formal sanction. The real, true inner sanction for the inviolability of marriage, as we see it in all countries where there is no church religion, is the sense of honor, the law of the gentleman in the man and the woman. Thus, the real authority for the obligation to obey rules of moral conduct is the moral sense, the law of the gentleman in man. The belief in God is, therefore, not necessary to make men obey rules of moral conduct.
And that was the fourth part of The Spirit of the Chinese People, written by Gu Hongming, narrated by Man Ling, and brought to you by China Radio International. Join us again next time on A Light on Literature for Part 5 of The Spirit of the Chinese People, in which Gu Hongming talks about the moral law and the law of the gentleman in Confucianism.
I want to learn Chinese.
其实并不难 It can be fun.
欢乐汉语 Chinese Studio.
And 我是 Raymond. And after a hard day's work in the office, It's time to get your game on and go out and party.
That's right. We're going to teach you how to get out on your own in Chinese studio night activities.
Here are some keywords of the day.
Keywords of the day.
Massage, 按摩.
Which bar is the most popular?
哪间酒吧比较有名 ？Have fun， 玩得开心。
All in today's Chinese studio.
Hey, Yanjia. What do you like to do? I think it's time to get out a bit.
Yeah, I think so. What do you want to do?
Well, let's just get out and see what we can do. We'll find out when we get there. Hey, my friend just said something in Chinese. What did he say?
Oh, he said, have fun.
How do you say that again in Chinese?
It's 玩得开心.
玩得开心.
玩, to play or have fun.
玩.
开心, delighted, happy.
开心.
玩得开心.
玩得开心. Have fun. 我要走了。
玩得开心。
谢谢。
We've been walking up and down the street, and there's so many choices for bars.
Yeah, I'm looking for the one with the most amount of beautiful women.
And I'm also looking for the club with all the hunks.
Well, I guess the best way we can solve this problem is if we just go to the most popular bar.
Great, you can ask. 哪间酒吧比较有名？
哪间酒吧比较有名？
哪 is the colloquial pronunciation for 哪儿. It means which or what.
哪
间 is the measure word for bar.
间
Bar in Chinese is 酒吧, as 酒 stands for alcohol.
Oh, 酒吧.
比较 means relatively or comparatively.
比较
有名 well known.
有名
哪间酒吧比较有名？
哪间酒吧比较有名？ Which bar is the most popular?
哪间酒吧比较有名？
这一带的酒吧都比较有名。
Oh yeah, after all that dancing, my feet need massaging. Do you know any good massages?
Oh no, I'm not going anywhere near your feet. But I guess we can get massages because of all that hard work dancing.
Aha, sounds like a great idea. I'll have some massages on my feet. How do you say that in Chinese?
我要做个足底按摩。
我要做个足底按摩。
我要 means I want to do something.
我要
做按摩 to have a massage.
做按摩。
足底 feet.
足底。
我要做个足底按摩。
我要做个足底按摩。I'd like to have foot massage.
我要做个足底按摩。
你要做哪个价位的
？200元的足底按摩。
Well, that wraps up today's Chinese studio.
And while we are busy getting our massages, here is the quiz of the day. How do you say I'd like to have a foot massage in Chinese? Take care and 明天见。
明天见。